Hey YouTube, today we have the repair of a Lethal Enforcer's PCB that was not registering shots on player 1. Player 2 worked just fine, so it confirmed that I had a good working gun on player 2. Plugged it into there and then plugged it into the good working gun into player 1, and all it would do is, with trigger clicks, it would register shots, and you could see that you were losing ammo, but there was actually no hits being registered on the screen. It would just flash, but no hits. You can go into the test menu also, and in the I/O check, and determine that your trigger is working. I just didn't have shots that were registering. So looking at the schematics, these are available online, probably from XX Arc Mission. But we have our hit functions. This is player 2, and then player 1. VCC is your 5 volts, ground is ground. But then this goes right into a gate out of IC56, and those are on pins 1, 2, and 3, and then player 1 that we're having a problem with goes into that same IC, U56, which is a 74LS00, but those gates are on 4, 5, 6. So what I did is I broke out the old logic probe and hooked it up to 5 volts, and then when there are no guns connected to either position here, so if there are no guns connected, if you read out pin number 1, it came up to be high, pin 2 was nothing, and then pin 3 was low. So that was what it was reading on the good gun, the good circuit that was working, but on the bad one it was not reading that. So it was high, nothing, and then low. And then with the good gun connected to player 2, the readings went from high, and then gate 2 is now high, and then, or I should say pin 2 is high, and then pin 3 was low. And then the way that you can see if this IC is actually working is with the gun connected. If it's not pointing at the screen, you'll get no pulse on pin 2. But if you point the gun at the screen and the opto can register light, on mine I have an audio pulse too, but then this will start to go on and off rapidly. And then the other gates, so the other pins, 1 and 3, those will start to also have a pulse, but at a slower rate. So the opto, when it's seeing light, will pulse rapidly, and then the other pins associated with that gate will pulse a little bit slower. And then that was not happening on the part of U56 that controls the hit on player 1. So I robbed the IC out of a spare board. So this is where U56 is on a Lethal Enforcer board. And then swapped that out and then socketed it, and then it is now working on the PCB. And this is just a parts PCB. You can tell that the sound module is already gone. But that's a way that you can test out and see if you're having trouble with your shots registering, if it's going to be an issue with U56, which was a 74LS00. Good luck.